Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer Arcade1UP. Fans out there who wish to do mods, be aware, right? And beware of who you do business with, right? And check out business reputations and stuff like that. All the good consumer affair stuff that you know about. This is the one time, guys, where you know powers convey, right? The things that I enjoy, which is business and video games, arcade stuff combined, right? This is the kind of stuff where I feel I could provide to you as a business person for over so many years because I'm really old. And having run more than a few retail businesses, I can give you my feedback on. Now, guys, with that said, the content of this video is for informational purposes only, right? I don't want you to fall into the mistakes. These are my opinions, right? My First Amendment protected opinions that I have on these type of cases, where customers don't feel that they got what they paid for, right? Now, the references I make to these people, I hope they can work it out, but this is a cautionary tale for everybody, right? For everybody, because what goes on here, let me tell you, it's not very impressive from Retro Lizard's point of view, right? If you're a business, and if I was a business owner, and if this gentleman was representing me who wrote this on the bottom, I probably would have fired him if he was my employee. To be honest with you, I wouldn't. After all the training I would do with somebody, they would know not to respond to this. Now, what are we talking about? Well, this gentleman over here, uh, Billy Wood Mods, ordered a mod for his Star Wars, and it's been 2 years and he hasn't received it, right? And he laid out the case in his video of of all that he went through with emails back and forth, reordering parts, this and that and the other. And he paid through PayPal, and because the mod was $1,400, Jesus Christ, man. If it's $1,400, I'm learning how to cut wood. I'm sorry, I'm not paying, especially with my wife. If I was to tell my wife I'm gonna spend $1,400 on a mod, after I spend whatever it is, $700 on an arcade. Oh, no, no, no. My wife is very how would I say, value oriented. Some people would say cheap. No, she's very value oriented, and she would kill me if I ever do something like that. Now, let me tell you, after taking 2 years, this is the guy's first response, which was completely unprofessional. As I said, I would have fired somebody in my company if they would have done this. Don't even need to watch the video. Dude's mod has been done for months. Well, how come he hadn't delivered it? I even emailed to confirm, which isn't shown here. Doesn't take away from the time it's been, but now I'm not really in a hurry to ship it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It's not the right response. Afterwards, he gets called out. He says he's kidding. But this is not the response you want after you screwed up Retro Lizard Custom Arcades. After you screwed up for 2 years, you think that's the proper response? I mean, who took you to business school? I don't need a business, I don't need my college degree to let you know that this is not the right response. This is not what you want to show, right? And now that we're making videos on it, I'm pretty sure you're going to be a lot nicer, but that's what it takes in business, guys. You need to make mistakes like this gentleman just made here, right? To learn that these are not the right responses to give to people who have entrusted you with their money for over 2 years. Oh my God. That's not how a professional handles business, let me tell you. This is how someone behaves who feels immune from consequences. And it's not the face that you want to give your customers. And the only action when a little public exposure uh, forces his hand, right? This is what he shows here. Now that people are looking at it, and they're going to look at this video, Retro Lizards, and it's going to stay up, right? It's a cautionary tale for people because this is what happened. He later backpedals, right, and said the customer had been polite and deserved the call out. But the damage is already done, right? There was no apology, no ownership. We only have excuses on emails. Now, with that said, Where did the customer go wrong? Like, dude, I know you want to be nice, but Jesus Christ. I mean, you have to take some accountability for your actions here too. This video has been long to way in the making. This is why, I called this video When Too Nice Gets You Burned. First of all, guys, when you do business through PayPal, you have 180 days, right? That's the ticking time bomb, 180 days. At this point, if he had ordered the Intellivision Amico, he couldn't do anything, right? At least you have somebody to talk to. At least this guy can be publicly embarrassed into giving you your stuff, which is what's happening now, right? Because if it wasn't for this video, we all know the emails would have kept on going after 2 years. I think after year 1, we pretty much, you can give that as his modus operandi. That he just sends emails whenever he wants. But you only have 180 days with PayPal, right? So if you haven't gotten your product by then, you have to make it absolutely 100% clear that on day 180, you're going to ask for your money back if you haven't gotten your stuff, okay? This gentleman waited too long to escalate. PayPal gives you 180 days, that's about 6 months, to file a dispute or request a refund. After that, you're at the mercy of the seller. So this window has been closed for a year and a half now. I don't know. Yeah, about a year and a half. Now, this is not patience, right? This is not patience on this man's behalf. And he's, like I said, he's trying to be too nice. This Billy Woods mods. He went beyond patience. He's into surrender. And I can see why people want to order this stuff. And it looks pretty cool, right? And I'm not saying the guy doesn't do good work. It looks, well, some of it, this isn't finished here in the corner, but the mods look fairly decent. But you have to do and say and deliver stuff when you say you're going to. But Billy Mod here, Billy Woods Mods, was being polite beyond reason. Kindness is a virtue. But let me tell you something, guys. In business, too much patience without accountability enables bad actors in the market, right? There should be a clear milestone, deadlines, follow-ups. When those are ignored, you have to escalate, not wait. This is one mistake that he made, right? The good thing that he does is he kept public record, not all of them because he said his phone died, but he should have everything, right? Document everything, receipts, emails, missed deadlines, promises, and he has some of those, right? But you should have everything. But if you're out there, right, and you avoid these kind of mistakes, but let me tell you, this man is going to get his stuff now after, his video, after getting called out. The Rexer show is here calling him out, which is a much larger voice than mine in the community. And he responded to him. Let me show you down here. This really reminds me of the continual ad games and 1UP issues where the general public never got any help. But when the influencer shills ever needed help or fix or replacement, they got it right away after their first complaint. If it takes a YouTube video to get action, it's not right. And he's absolutely correct. So to that he responds, he made a well-deserved video for calling me out. That's on me, no one else. I don't deny any of it. I've been sitting on it. He'll have it by Monday. Right? But, I mean, it takes this, right? It takes this for him to act. Not a great look. Hopefully he'll do better in the future. But you, right? You as a customer, it's your due diligence. This is right here. Again, this is beyond politeness. This is surrender, right? After the 6 months, you're surrendering to the vendor, and you can't do that, especially when you're paying with PayPal. I mean, that's the convenience of paying with PayPal, that you get some, right, consumer protection. So make sure, right? This is my message to the public to avoid these kind of situations, and hopefully these men can work it out. Use PayPal goods and services, not friends and family, okay? Set clear deadlines before payment. Document every step and file a PayPal dispute before the 180-day deadline, right? Before 180 days, that's key. And don't let courtesy replace accountability, which is what happened here. And that's on this gentleman here, on Billy Woods Mods, right? If he would have made this video in the 5th month, and if you're a YouTuber, you need to start off with this. I want to order this because I want to make a video on it. So right off the bat, right? I mean, that's the power that you have as a YouTuber, is that you can make videos. So you're not you're not left in this situation, you know. And you know, in a word for vendors like Retro Lizard, Custom Arcades, if a customer waits for 2 years, right, and your first public response is sarcasm, that's a huge red flag for anyone considering doing business with you. A sincere apology and accountability would have gone a lot further than snark, let me tell you. Even now, you only responded because your reputation is on the line. And let me be crystal clear. Anything other than an apology after a 2-year delay is the wrong response. Customers out there, beware, right? If you're looking to do any custom work with any vendor whatsoever, and you pay through PayPal, you have 6 months. And you have to let them know that. You have to let them know, be clear of your expectations. And if you're a YouTuber specifically, you have to let them know this is going on video. Now, as far as businesses learn by making mistakes, just like people. Hopefully, Retro Lizard will not do this again, right? But if he does, you guys have the tools, right? You guys know that you have 180 days. You guys know that you should document everything. And please don't wait 2 years before making a video. That's Billy Woods Mod's big mistake, in my opinion. All right, humans, customer beware. Stay aware out there. You know, when people take your money, they should be held accountable. All right, humans, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.